Cloud goggles, is that the vibe for the season?
It's the vibe every season.
Jaire, I remember Davante told us a story last year about how I think it was your first practice ever here. He beat you off the line, caught it, and then after practice you were in the iPad at your locker. That happened to Eric today. Is that the best way to learn for a young corner, getting beat by Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams?
Yeah, that's the best way. As competitive as we are in the secondary, it's always good for one to learn from their own mistakes. Especially a young guy like Eric, who's very talented, and very competitive. I know he'll look at that film and correct himself.
You go up against him every day for at training camp, so this is old stuff for you. But what's it like taking hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of reps against the same guy? Is it? I know I would say cat and mouse game, but it's like cat and mouse, like to infinity at that point. Huh?
Yeah, I mean, you gotta love going against one of the best receivers in the league every snap if you can. I just think it makes us better. Iron sharpens iron. And, Tay's one of the best. So whenever I can get that matchup, I'm drooling at the mouth.
Jaire, how would you describe your new defensive coordinator?
Man, Joe Barry, he brings a different kind of energy, a very positive and just a bunch of energy. And we all feed off of that. Some days when we don't have the energy, Joe Barry hype us up and he'll give us the energy. The other day in the defensive meet room, he showed us an example of him tackling the air, and he hit the ground and tackled the air. Like, it was amazing to see. He got right back up. His glasses was still on his shirt. He's just cool, man.
Jaire, when 3 years under your belt, you've gotten national attention now, really on the uprise. How do you handle that pressure going into this fourth year, and then also how do you keep going on?
I don't really look at it as pressure. I have a strong, I have strong faith in my abilities, and I have a bunch of confidence. So a lot of times I don't really pay much attention to that stuff, because I know how good I am. And so it's never any pressure. It's just another day, me versus me, just being the best.
How do you want to use these next few weeks in training camp to elevate your skill?
Like I said, it's just me versus me, honestly. When you're on the island, it's a different kind of perspective, I don't really get too involved with what other people are doing, because that's not going to make me any better. Ultimately, it comes down to knowing myself and knowing my game. So I'm just going to keep working on myself, working on my game, and just get better.
Jaire, you talk about your confidence. You've never hurt for that, obviously. With that said, we've talked to you about getting the picks when they come to you in the past, and then you go out there against Brady and do what you did in the NFC Championship game. Does that boost your confidence, even though that's not something you obviously struggle with? Do you still get confidence from that?
Oh, yeah. Look, that's like my favorite game to watch. I made a song about that, actually. Yeah, huh?
Do you want to share?
Oh, no. I can't share my songs, man. Not right now. Not right now. But it's a good song, though. I listen to it a lot, too. So that game was just like eye-opening, just my preparation going into that week. It really just, you ever seen like an ant climb up a mountain, like a cold mountain, like a real cold mountain? Probably not, huh? Well, I haven't either, but that's how I felt. Yeah, that's how I felt. It felt like an ant climbing up a real cold mountain.
Jaire, have you talked to Joe about playing different positions within the scheme, like maybe moving inside, or do you feel like outside is where you're best at?
Well, from the first day, I told Joe B that I was going to play wherever he needed me to play, wherever I can make plays, whether that's coming off the edge, lining up right beside Z and trying to swim move a guard. I just want to make some plays, so he knows that, and that's what I'm willing to do.
Now that you had a few under your belt, did you do anything different this offseason? You know, maybe take some time for yourself that you didn't before, or yeah, just anything different?
I always take time to myself. It's a big part of my game, just clearing my head, making sure my mental is prepared for the season. You know, I just love being outdoors. I love just being in the sun, on the beach, in nature, getting my root chakra intact. So those are some of my favorite things to do in the off season.
I will bet you do not hesitate to lift up one of your teammates if they made a mistake or had a bad play. But do you feel that this is the time also maybe to challenge a teammate?
Yeah, definitely. Training camp, I tell guys all the time, training camp is the perfect place to make mistakes, you know. It's the perfect place, you know. Don't be scared to step outside your comfort zone to make a mistake or do something different. You know, I told Eric the other day, like, you know, this is the perfect place to, you know, try something new. You know, try something you haven't tried before, and just see if it works. You know, because it's just practice. At the end of the day, you know, I feel like practice is harder than the games.
Joe, how often does Eric ask you questions? Is there a question he's asked you since you've met him that has caught your attention that sticks out?
Not too many questions. You know, with young guys, you know, it's not that they don't want to ask questions. You know, it may be harder for them to ask questions. You know, I was in that same position. I didn't want to ask questions at all. You know, I wanted to go out, learn, visually see it and learn from Tremont. You know, so, but you know, he needed to bring in some more snacks. All right, I'll tell you that much. All right, because he always say it's in his truck, and then I say, well, go to your truck and get it, and he say he don't know where his truck is. So I'm like, all right, dude. You know, so I mean, that's just about it. I can tell that he likes to observe, and you know, he wants to find out on his own, and which is cool, you know. But I always give him a little side tip here and there.
Hey, John, getting back to the accolades for a second, you know, for a guy that was pretty overlooked, you know, back in Charlotte and you know, kind of took a long way to get to where you wanted to be. How have you processed that now? You know, being an All-Pro, being a Pro Bowler, and what did those mean to you last year? You know, and doing that at only 24.
It meant a lot, you know. I'm just thankful that, you know, everyone else gets a chance to see what I always thought I was. You know, I'm thankful that, you know, Sports Center or my teammates or, you know, fans, you know, I love the love, you know, because that's something that was rarely received to me, like you said, and I think that it's cool, you know, but at the same time, it's also humbling, you know, because I know where I came from, so it just always pushes me. So I'm sure I probably watch the least amount of TV out of anybody in this room, and for good reason, because, you know, I'm one. If that makes sense. I'm the ant climbing up the cold mountain. Yeah.
What do you think you're capable of this season? Sorry. What do you think you're capable of this season? It seems like you've just gradually gotten better since you've gotten here. I mean, what's that next step for you this year?
The next step will be blocking out the noise. Blocking out, you know, just duplicating what I did last year and even better. You know, it's still me versus me always. That's really it.
You're coming into some.
Last couple in the room, then we gotta go to Zoom.
You're coming up into some contract stuff at some point. Does that get in your head at all? I mean, you just mentioned blocking out the noise. Is that part of it?
Yeah, I mean, my parents are more involved with that stuff than I am. I just focus on being the best, like always, because if you're the best, then it all circle back around.
Did you just have cramps today on the sideline, or was there anything more?
Yeah, it was hot out there. Golly, and I wear tights all the time. The other day I lost like 4 pounds after practice. I'm like, golly, I'm sweating out buckets. So
Nothing serious?
Yeah.
Jaire, it's hard to follow up on your answer to Wes there. I would say you still owe me 2 more letters from that nickname after the NFC Championship. I don't know whether we'll be in the locker room again to get those. But when you talk about sustaining what you are already doing, and you talk about blocking out the noise, what do you mean by blocking out the noise?
Well, noise is just the praise, just you know, sometimes when people get like here, you know, the noise is also here. And the noise interferes, and then the play comes here because of the noise, you know. So I just plan on staying consistent, and you know, I know I'm the best, you know. I'm sure that, you know, a lot of people think that I'm the best, but I know that I'm the best, and that's good enough for me. So I'm just gonna block out the noise that way. That's a good question.
All right, Sarah, let's take a couple from Zoom, please.
Yep, we have 3 in here. First up, Chris Roth.
Hey Jaire, I'm wondering if that blocking out the noise thing is a little easier now because you have achieved that goal. I remember talking to you 2 years ago at Goat Yoga, and you said very simply, I'm going to be an all-pro. Now, it took another year, but now that you've got there, has that changed your perspective on what those accolades mean? And maybe you don't need that as much anymore because you have such internal confidence.
I think that those accolades meant a whole lot to me because that's something that I've always been striving for. And I felt like, you know, the confidence was always there, but once I got those accolades, you know, All-Pro, Pro Bowl, you know, it made me feel like, okay, I'm not the one being overlooked. I'm not the one, like, I am the one. And it makes me realize, like, you know, watching all the greats at corner, I could be one of the greats, you know. I am the greatest. So it's just a self-affirming affirmation that I say to myself, but I believe in that.
Kyle from WFRU.
Hey Jaire, I know you do like a lot of yoga and meditate, but what can that do for an athlete, or what does it do for you? Because it's a tough business, and football is obviously a tough game mentally and physically.
Yeah, I think that you know, I think that you are what you constantly, you know, give your energy to, and you know, meditation is just a part of who I am. It's kind of just a part of what I represent. You know, I've been doing that consistently on the daily for maybe about 4 or 5 months. And it's just helped me enter a space where it's just like, it's just unbothered, you know? And it's cool because, you know, Rookie Jaire maybe, Rookie Jaire was, you know, in my mind, you know, was all over the place, you know, but now the game has just gotten so still. It's just like a stillness to the game now in my environment. So, you know, I recommend meditation to anybody, you know, just to take 5 minutes, 2 minutes, you know, maybe even 30 seconds, you know, just to build up that stamina to actually be present. It definitely works wonders.
And last one, Darius Joshua.
Hey Jaire, you talked about sweating out there today. Coach had mentioned the light approach kind of practice, having a lighter one today, with obviously a longer journey of a season with an extra game. Did you kind of feel a difference entering this training camp, kind of easing into things and easing back into football?
Yeah, I feel like so much more relaxed. You know, I feel like it's like a weight's been lifted off my shoulders. It's like it's like I know so much about the game, it just slowed down tremendously. And it just feels good. You know, I like the space that I'm in right now, on and off the field. And I'm just going to continue to embrace it.